there everyone, thanks to my new subscribers and to my old subscribers. So today I'm going to do no contact, pick a card. You choose a number 1 or 2 and the timestamps are in the description box. Why isn't he contacting my channel viewer? Why isn't he contacting my channel viewer? Why isn't she contacting my channel viewer? Why aren't they contacting my channel viewer? Of course, if this reading resonates, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. My website is a PayPal service, so you can send me the funds with a message or you can email me. My Fiverr account is a service facility, so you need your Google details or your Facebook details to log into that facility. So I get the impression from these cards that he's been a little bit preoccupied actually. He's been socializing a lot. But it's funny because even though he's been socializing and planning his next steps, he's also been working on his spiritual self. I feel he's getting a lot of time alone actually. Seems to me he was socializing a lot with some other women. He or she, this person, was socializing a lot with some people. And what's happened is your person has become quite preoccupied with his socialization and also with his spiritual self. So he's a loner at heart, but he has this very social side to him, and I feel that it's led him astray. He or she, I should say, has gone overseas, I feel, and your person has been traveling, and they're now at the stage where they're getting a little bit of leeway. They've settled in one spot, I feel, and they've started to think about you again, and also they were having a really good time and they were having a good think about life. And that's why you didn't hear from them in the past. Presently, I feel that your person is being dominated by an ex, somebody they're separated from. Could be an ex. These are two possibilities for your person. or it could be a mother figure. They're being controlled in some respect, but I feel they're getting ready to officially separate from this person. Because this person's becoming a little bit aggressive for your person. So that's why presently there is no contact. Funnily enough, I feel your person was having a really good time before, but also I feel they're a little bit of a loner, and presently I feel it's the mother figure or the ex who has stepped in and kind of stopped their good time. And it may not have been a conscious thing, but it seems to me that the presence of this person has stopped your person from going out on a whim and having fun. But the thing is, they were in a really clear space before. They were in a very very conscious space, a very clean space. And it seems to me there are so many arguments with this person, or so much tension. There doesn't need to be open fighting, but there's a lot of tension. And I feel that tension, some of that tension has been over you and your actions particularly. That it's causing an official separation with whoever this is. So that's why they haven't been in contact, because there's this huge preoccupation in these cards. A lot of energy in these cards, busyness. There's busyness. There's an air sign here, and I feel that's him. And also a person that's around your person, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So I feel that your person is just going through the motions, but they are distracted, like to a great extent. But what's happening at the moment is everything's gone full circle. They're nearly at the end of a cycle here in these cards. So I feel the next step for your person is getting that clarity back, because that's what they need to start thinking about you again. Because I feel this person, whether it's a mother figure or whether it's a partner figure that they're separated from, kind of ruins things for your person and ruins the thought of you. But they're just trying to protect the thought of you at the moment, because into the future it shows they do want to communicate, but there's still a struggle there. I feel there's been quite a sharp separation between you, actually, to the point where I feel you had a good conversation in the past, but since then the physical separation between you has stopped any movement or any progress of your relationship, which could have been quite positive, very long lasting, very ideal. But there were a lot of complications in your person's life, but also in your life, because I feel there's a mirror effect here, because it seems to me that this is a very strong soulmate connection, and so you're both having the same difficulties on both sides. So into the future it shows there's still this struggle with communication, but there's a clearer consciousness here. It seems to me your person has to wait until that energy transmutes into something a little bit cooler, because I can see here that your person is going to try to keep your love alive, but I feel that into the future you might choose to detach, and that's going to cause some, it's like you choose to detach. This communication comes through at a time when you choose to detach, and it's beautiful communication. It's very clear, it's very honest. It's like it was before. I feel the communication between you was very clear, very honest, very profuse. So you had a good conversation with this person, and it allowed you to recognize this person as a strong soulmate entity. That's the impression I get. But the separation and the problems in your respective lives, and it can be looked at on scale, how serious those problems are or how serious those difficulties are, has caused there to be distractions. And so there's kind of been a loss of contact simply through movement, particularly movement in your lives. I feel there's been traveling on both your sides, but also there's been interferences. But at the point that they choose to communicate with you, I feel that you would have just moved out of a space for yourself, which was very restful. It seems to me that you've had some time off, or you've found some inner peace, and which has allowed you to get your own time alone. And into the future, the separation between you and whatever difficulties you're facing now with a female figure is going to lead you to become more detached from everything, from him or her, and from the outside world. Because I feel that you are getting a lot of peace, and you don't want to compromise that restful space into the future. So at that point, it's like you kind of just put the cucumbers on your eyes, and you wait for a time when you feel you'd like to revisit this connection, because it seems to me you put a lot of energy into this person and you didn't get a lot back. So it's into the future. There's going to be these a kind of game of strategy between you where you've already detached your emotions, whereas he would have decided very seriously what it is what it is he or she would like, how he or she would like to take this relationship. And I feel the communication will arrive from overseas. So it could be, it says very much it's an email communication, and that makes perfect sense. And I feel because this guy or girl is a big talker, the communication will be quite prolific, and this person will want to tell you about what they've been up to. But this communication will come from a place of love, but I feel there's a dark side and a light to your person. But funnily enough, I feel that even though you would have detached, it brings you great joy to receive this communication. So it will be very interesting to see how that progresses. since you would have probably shut down your emotions to a large extent when you hear from this person. But it is a possibility. At the moment, there is energy behind hearing from this person. There's a lot of energy behind it, but the energy seems to have dissipated. So the timing could be medium term, I'd say. And by that time, I don't really think that you will be too concerned about the timing or when you receive anything, any communication from this person, simply from the point of view that the opportunity in your mind would have already been missed because of whatever's gone on in your respective lives. So the detachment on your part will be strong, but your person's heart is in the right place, and his or her mind is in the right place when they write to you, and that will most likely lead you to at least be interested in what your person has to say. And I feel that's important because the energy shows me up to a certain point and it shows promise. I mean, it says very clearly it's up to you. If you want to move this forward from up to the point where I've dealt the cards, which is hearing from this person after you've detached, it shows that there is a new world for you to explore with this person. And I feel that you will give this person the time of day. But it will be very interesting to see whether you're willing to open your eyes to the opportunity between you again. But in terms of no contact, that's the reasoning. Simply because there's been a strong separation and between you on the physical plane, and also there's been a lot of distractions in both of your lives, and it's just cause for there to be a rift. And I feel that once that rift becomes larger, it's harder to get in contact with a person. So that's what the problem has been, but there's hope. So this is a very interesting reading from the perspective that I feel that once you reconnect, it will go so far as to help you to maybe move out of a very independent, enclosed space. And I feel that's what you need. You need this friend to return to you into the future, to help you out of that closed environment. But the goodwill will be there, and I feel that's really positive. Okay, so that was deck 1. If this reading resonates, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my PayPal account, which is my website, and my Fiverr account, which is a service facility. See you next time. Hi there everyone, this is deck 2 contact, pick a card. So I'll just ask, why hasn't my channel viewers person contacted them? Why hasn't my channel viewers person contacted them? Of course, if this reading resonates, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. My website is a PayPal service, so you can send me the funds with a message or you can email me. My Fiverr account is a service facility and you need your Google details or your Facebook details to log into that facility. Back to the reading. So I get the impression here that your person has a strong desire for you, and you would have felt that. And they've also been feeling a lot of envy in the past. And I feel they've grown a real devotion to you. They've had some, I feel your person has had some negative, they've just been on a trip in the past and they've had like a negative time, and I feel that really the brightest light during those travels was yourself. So it tells me that things change for your person like 100%, like 360 when they saw you. And when they saw you and they met you and they understood you, it changed their perspective because they were having a bit of a hard time. I feel that they'd been traveling for quite a while, and it could have been they were back and forth, so they might have spent a little bit time at home but then they had to go again, and they were having dark times. They had some positive times, but it seems to me that they were really trying to comfort themselves, and they found comfort in finding you. So I feel you've become a real focus. And it's brought their spirit alive, because I feel that their spirit was a bit dampened by their travels. So they must have been feeling a little bit down sometimes, or just unhappy. And they had some moments which were bright, but they were few and far between. So it seems to me you've provoked their envy, you've provoked their sense of devotion, you've provoked their strength, you've provoked their light, you've provoked their dark, you've provoked their passion. And they love the fact that they've come across you and met somebody who could provoke their passions after having, you know, a bit of a hard time of it. So presently, I feel actually they're dealing with there are two aspects of this reading. Some of your people may have a child, and they're dealing with all of the stresses associated with a child. That's one thing, but I feel that actually your person's actually a little bit younger, and so they're they're feeling a little bit petulant actually, even even if your person's older. But I get the impression that, you know, they're not middle-aged, and if they are, then they have more of a young mentality, a younger mentality. So it tells me that your person is kind of being petulant about finding somebody they feel they could love. And the other, on the physical, it could have to do with an actual child, as the card suggests. So it tells me very clearly here that their darkness has been provoked because of the envy they felt for you in the past. Because I feel that's a real struggle, like a constant struggle is their dark side. And so they're just in the throes of dealing with whatever's happening on the physical and whatever's happening in their own mentality, which, you know, is kind of like a spoiled kid. Because they've kind of shut out, they're in a position now where they're shutting out their intuition, and they're shutting out their feelings, their beautiful feelings of love and devotion towards you, because they're either dealing with a mother figure, they're dealing with a very they're dealing with a mother and a child, or they're dealing with mostly they're dealing with the stresses of new love, I feel. Because it's like that darkness in their soul was eating them up before. And you've provoked something curious or different in them. You've provoked their curiosity. And it's a different feeling for them. And I feel they're trying to fight that feeling. So they're going against their instinct. And they're becoming really... they're kind of in denial about those beautiful feelings that they're conjuring in their soul for you, because the feelings in their soul are very pure, loyal and loving. So it's kind of a soft feeling. It's like walking in the dark and then walking from a place which has been dark and then suddenly finding the light. You know, they're a bit disorientated, and they're also very frustrated. And so that side of theirs has been provoked, where they're being a little bit petulant, and they're also trying to grab onto things on an emotional level which served them before. And what served them before was a darkness, like a depressed mood or an attitude. And because you've enlivened their spirit, that dark mood and that attitude has kind of transmuted into something beautiful, but wayward. So it's a couple of different things that they're dealing with, actually, on the physical and on spiritual plane, and on kind of a psychological plane. Into the future, though, those feelings that so that's why I haven't heard from them. It was as if they had an intention to contact you in the past, or to maintain contact with you. But what was stopping them in the past was whatever circumstances they were in, where they were very transient, and they were finding it hard to adjust to their environments. And not only that, they were finding the trip or the change of environments quite difficult. So the intention was there to maybe maintain contact or continue it on, but they couldn't quite gather that momentum. They were kind of like a stunned mullet when they found you. You know, it was a bit of an afterthought, I feel. because they were still in a kind of a depressed state or some kind of dark mood, and it wasn't until they let their emotions settled that they realized that they had emotions for you. And because they'd been in such kind of a damp space mentally, purifying, having pure thoughts for somebody and beautiful thoughts was a little bit too much to take on board, I feel. And because they're younger in spirit, those feelings were transmuted into something a little bit petulant. And so you're dealing with probably an immature energy at the moment where they just don't want to express themselves, but they want to sort of be selfish about holding on to those emotions. But they don't, they're acting out and they're shutting out their intuition, and they're trying to... The other thing on the physical is that I feel there's an interference from a woman, and the woman, she could be like any type of female figure around them, is probably adding things which are quite negative about the situation, and or complicating the situation where they're saying negative things or doing negative things, and it causes them to feel small, and prevents them from opening up their hearts and developing those emotions. So you have like a stunted growth issue, emotional growth issue just presently. And that's why you haven't heard from them. But into the future, I feel that as much as they tried to shut out the thought of you, it still lingers. And they know like what they had with you was quite fresh in the past. Like you didn't know each other well. It was just a fleeting moment that they appreciated, that enlivened their passions. And so into the future, they do try to shut out the thought of you, but you sort of linger, and they move into their happy and sad face phase again. But I feel their character would have matured, and the other situation being that it could be a third party situation into the future where they're wanting to build something with you, but they're trying to shut you out of their thoughts, so that will prevent contact, because I feel that one sort of feeling outweighs the other, where they're thinking about doing something, they're wanting to become motivated about you. You stay there in their thoughts, and the prospect of communication remains, but they kind of just focus on whoever it is around them. And I feel that the third party situation has a lot to do with this child. If it's on the physical, it's a child and partner issue, former partner issue. If it's like, because your person's kind of independent of that. So if they do have a child, then it's an independent thing. It's like a problem. It's like a difficulty they have, because I feel the mother in the situation of the child is can be a little bit full on. But they are two independent people. And she appeals to his dark. The other thing is that I feel your person has a lot of female figures around them, or male figures, that are interested in your person. So they always get caught up in maybe building something a little bit superficial with the female energies or the male energies around them. But they don't really want them. They kind of focus on their own projects and their own work, and they're a little bit mischievous in that respect, because they know that different energies are interested in them, but they don't seem to acknowledge it. But then the other issue being that you're their main focus, you're the one they want. So the energy kind of stops at them pondering you. But I feel that into the future, you will be the person that stops your person from indulging in relationships, other relationships, because they have a real big focus on you, even though they're trying to shut you out into the future, and that's why you won't hear from them into the immediate future. Beyond that point, I feel that thought of theirs that they have about you needs to be developed, because it seems to me that it's just a tipping of the energies that is necessary for them to want to contact you or try to be in your space, because I feel that it's more like it's not a electronic contact or a communication contact. I feel that this person wants to contact you in the physical or be there where you are. So they just ponder into the future how they can be where you are. That's the strong impression I get. That's kind of the immediate future, but beyond that, I feel that your person just needs a little bit more of development, and they need to move further away from the negativity, whoever the negative influence is, and then those mature feelings will develop more, and they will have more of a desire to be in your physical space on trying to find their way back to you. But that's a reason they haven't been in contact in the past and presently, in the recent past, presently, and possibly into the future. But if you do hear from this person, it will be in the physical. And they will be shy around you in the physical if they manage to find their way back to your space. And I feel that maybe you won't be looking around when they're in your space, but they will be there to contact you if you happen to see them. That will be their intention. But I feel because they're a bit shy, they won't express themselves so well to you if you do see them in the physical. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that was deck 2. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. My website is a PayPal service, so you can send me the funds with a message, or you can email me. My Fiverr account is a service facility, and you need your Facebook details or your Google details to log into that facility. See you next time.